You lost?
No.
Are you one of those preachers? Looking for something here in the desert that you can't find anywhere else? How long have you been out here, Holy Man?
Since the last full moon, maybe a little longer.
Alone? No. You people are never alone. Some spirit or something is always with you, isn't it? Tell me one thing you've learned out here. And I'll offer you shelter for the night.
Oh, that's not necessary.
Please, will give me pleasure.
Man makes do, anywhere.
Because he is man. Good. Give me a hand with this.
Do you mind if I read a text message?
No, read it. Read it. We would love that.
So we've got these student fellows from around the country who are evangelicals. And I think this really sort of helps to describe what we're saying. He's an evangelical student at a school in Pennsylvania. He wrote to me, he said, I was thinking of writing about how my interfaith work has saved my faith. This is what he said.
Wow, that's powerful.
He said, I was getting increasingly fed up with Christianity and what I was seeing around me, but I don't know if I've ever shared with you guys how much hope that being part of Neighborly Faith has given me for what could be and what looks like to take the message of the gospel and make it real with action rather than words. When we engage with other faith groups, I think it's an opportunity for our own faith to be revitalized, or to be presented with other alternatives. But I think if we Christians just kind of like put ourselves in a cave, we are never going to have the opportunity to compare and contrast, but we're also not going to have the opportunity to get to know our neighbors and think about ways they might inspire us, which is sad. I think a lot of Christians think about spiritual formation as something that only happens within the confines of the four walls of the church. But, I mean, I've had moments of great growth and inspiration hanging out with people with whom I deeply disagree with. And I hope they have too.
I mean, I am hopeful that in these next upcoming years, even though they say that we're living in a divided country, at an individual level, we can really, really bring a spiritual emphasis into our own souls.
Yes.
Because the thing is, we live around churches, you know? Maybe in other parts of the world, they don't have that luxury. We live around temples and synagogues and Hare Krishna temples and, Buddhist temples, and those places don't have a force field around them.
Yep.
There isn't some sort of magical, oh no, I can't walk in because,
Yeah.
You can go into those places and the people are very hospitable there.
Yeah.
So I hope, I know you have to get to a panel discussion, so maybe the last thing you can tell our viewers is what can they do at an individual level, like you guys are doing at a systems level with Neighborly Faith's initiative.
Yeah.
What can they do at an individual level to imbue that same spirit into their own lives? Because you get so much more richer for it.
Yeah, I think it takes for the majority faith, Christianity, I think it takes a certain recognition that we have to be good hosts. It would be hard for me to, I think, saddle Muslims with any real share of responsibility per se, because I know that we Christians have to give Muslims a good reason to be a part of what we're doing, and to make them feel safe and to feel welcome for who they are.
It's a fool who looks for logic in the chambers of the human heart. Now, what the hell is that saying?
Appears to be some kind of a congregation. Care for some gophers?
Oh, brothers, let's go down, come on down. Come on, brothers, let's go down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown, good Lord, show me the way.
Well, I guess hard times flush the chumps. Everybody's looking for answers. So
Well, be a son of a bitch. Delmar's been saved.
Well, that's it, boys. I've been redeemed. The preacher done washed away all my sins and transgressions. It's a straight and narrow from here on out, and heaven everlasting's my reward.
Delbert, what are you talking about? We got bigger fish to fry.
But I think if we're talking to a predominantly Muslim audience, I think it's, maybe if you've had really bad experiences with Christians, but you're open to having new experiences, I think that openness is really good. I said a few weeks ago at a conference, I said, I think part of interfaith work is the willingness to be surprised. If we lose the willingness to be surprised, we're now in trouble, because I think part of my story as an evangelical, coming from, not really engaging other faiths to engaging other faiths, is the way that I was surprised by them. And I hope that as young evangelicals begin to lead the church with their more loving and hospitable posture, that Muslims would be willing to show up to that dinner.
Shooting star last night. You enjoyed that. It was a bore. Liar. I am a liar, that is the truth. I've seen every shooting star since the first one. Every flash of lightning. I've heard the last gasp of each thing that ever lived. Nothing's interesting anymore. Nothing surprises you. Not a thing. The repetitiveness. The obstinate, dull repetitiveness of your father's plan is bewildering to me. The same lives lived over and over and over and over again. Is there a plan? It all has to turn into something. It has to pour out into something, but into what? And that's my weakness. Curiosity.
But of course, if they're interested in neighborly faith and learning more about us and ways that we can get our students involved with their communities, they can, of course, check us out.
We can put the link down below.
Sure, that's great.
We can put the link down below. And the last thing that I would love to do is, I try to read the Bible every day.
Yeah.
And I read this really short, succinct passage that really touched my heart. So maybe the last thing I can do is, as a Muslim, read a passage from the Bible. So this is from Matthew 7:1-2. Judge not, that ye be not judged.
For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again.
So open up our hearts, engage in more collaborative efforts, and
let God be God.
And exactly, and feel your spiritual intelligence grow.
Yeah.
Because I feel like mine has grown 5 IQs just by sitting with Mr. Singer right here. So thank you all. We're going to put all the links down below with Mr. Kevin Singer, and we hope you a pleasant weekend.